Welcome back to another episode of Havoc Rundown. I'm your host, Justin, and tonight we're diving deep into the chaos of the February 1st NHRL event, breaking down which bots dominated, which fell short, and most importantly, how it all shook up for the Havoc Rundown Fantasy League. But that's not all. Tonight we also have a very special guest joining us, our first ever fantasy event winner, Aidan, how do you say your last name? Reichenberg?
Reichenberg,
okay.
Yeah.
He will be here to break down his draft strategy, discuss what worked for him in February, maybe picking Promhita is a big part of that, and share how he plans to approach future drafts. And of course, we can't ignore the next big event, which is going to be Motorama, which is this weekend, the 14th through the 16th. It won't count towards our overall fantasy league standings. We will be running a special standalone mini league just for the event, and we'll break down how that's going to work, which is pretty simple, and what bots we should be watching for this weekend. I know I already have one of my picks, so it's going to be a packed episode. Couldn't do this alone, though. Joining me tonight is the numbers guru who turns bot stats into winning strategies and always spots trends before anyone else. It's Ryan Hunter.
I mean, if that was true, would I be in dead last in the fantasy league?
I guess not.
Remember, the house always loses.
The house is just in the back so that you all don't see me coming when I'm going to win. You know, I'm just following behind, like, gaining steam and momentum.
There you go. The sharp-eyed analyst who catches every key design tweak, strategy shift, and game-changing moment, it's Thomas Carroll.
What? I do all that? Just adding things, Thomas. Numbers go up.
Oh, I know. I give him a lot more credit than credit is due. The creative mastermind behind our fantasy league trophy and never one to shy away from a bold prediction. It's Tony Baker.
Hey, everyone. What are you creating today?
I'm tripping over my own tongue. And if you are listening to this and you go, damn, Tony sounds good. Tony got a new mic, and we're very excited. He sounds amazing. And our special guest, the builder of NHRL bots Air Raid, Radix, and the 12-pounder Raidon. He is our first ever Fantasy League event winner, here to share his winning strategy and future plans. It's Aidan Reichenberg.
Yup. Thanks for having me on, guys. Go Radix.
No problem. So this is a special, we had our first February event and how it went for the draft, and we're just gonna kind of talk about the February event through the lens of that, how the picks went, how everyone's, and we were talking before we started recording. We have a nice little sandwich here. Aidan is currently in first place, Ryan is currently in last place, so we'll talk about the difference in strategies and what Ryan is going to be looking to do next time to maybe not be in last place this time. So
now, if you want to maintain that last place algorithm, I got you. I know how you can do that.
Yes, Ryan has all of your draft tips if you want to be in last place, because that is definitely everyone's goal. So let's get right into it. We're calling, first segment.
Drafting Havoc.
The February 1st NHRL event went very, very well. Now I lost my place. The Beetle winner was
Silent Spring.
Silent Spring, that's right. I was like, I remember the final, and Silent Spring is the one who won that. Beetle winner was Silent Spring. The Hobbyweight winner was Promhita, and the Heavyweight winner was Chunky. So that was amazing. We kind of saw Chunky going in. Shri grabbed Chunky immediately, knowing that Chunky is a winner because Chunky is a beast. And of course, Ashley's not here tonight, but we will always root on Zach. And Promhita winning was amazing. And of course, it was amazing for you, Aidan, because you grabbed Promhita as your hobby weight.
Yep. That was all skill and calculation. I knew they were going to win. I was never worried about that one.
What was your thinking for your draft picks? Who did you draft?
Yeah, so I'll start with my 12-pound picks because we were talking about Promhita. I'm looking at my list right now, and I had Maximizer because, of course, they were lower ranked, so you could get them twice, but those are both scooped up. Then I had Psycho. Those are both also scooped up. And then I had Promhita as my 5th pick there, but I went with them because they were available, and that ended up paying off.
Excellent. What about Beatles?
So Beatles was fun because, I I guess the secret here is you want to be the last pick because of the random order from the first draft. I was the last pick there too. So let's see. I had Pinevictus and Katana right next to each other on my list, and they were my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had them in my 8th spot. So still pretty high up my list. And they were my 2 sleeper picks because I had a little bit of information on both of them, which I felt like wasn't reflected in their stats. Now, David, he drives Katana. I had actually fought him once before at an Ohio event, Extreme, and he almost beat Radix. So I knew his bot was pretty serious, and he just had some issues with his drive, which he told me he was fixing. So I believed him and went with him on that.
Yeah.
And he made the bracket. He got me good points, and I wouldn't have gotten first place without him. And Pinevictus, I knew they were good too from their one fight with Lynx during teams.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a special event. So that wasn't reflected in the stats either, but they went toe to toe for the first minute there. And they looked massively improved from past years. So that's why I went with them there.
Yeah.
Pinevictus is definitely one of those bots where it's not like a big name bot, but sometimes when Pinevictus shows up, they've been building their reputation. It was a good pick. I wouldn't have thought about Pinevictus, but that was good. That was a good draw for you.
So just an interesting thing just to go into the points that you did get through the event. Pinevictus has I'm looking here, the 3rd highest total points for the Beatles, out of the Beatles. The first was Basics, because Basics got 3 KOs and 2 TOs. So Basics was number 1 with 43 points, and then Comet came in second, mostly because they got those 4 judge wins there. But Pinevictus was number 3, 2 KOs, 2 TOs, a judge win, and the bracket. And then with the final standings getting that 5 points for coming in 3rd/4th. I mean, those 2 picks alone gave you a lot of points. So, because I mean, Katana was not a pushover either. 1 KO, 1 TO, and the 2 points for the bracket. So, you did really well in the Beatles, and then of course you got Parmhita, who got that extra 25 points for coming in first. So.
And Goose did pretty well too in the 30s. Now, I did have a bit of a mix-up there. I got Goose and Chicken mixed up. I thought I was going to have the big horizontal spinner with the downforce, but Goose did real well until they got chonkied.
I absolutely love Goose's color palette and how it was painted and everything like that. Really great. Really good team. I really liked interacting with them all day. I really like Goose. But Chunky just...
Was it crazy?
Oh, yeah. Well, towards the end of the event, we were watching you and Tony go back and forth with first and second. And I think it really came down to, Justin, didn't it just come down to like the last couple of fights?
You guys kept on switching back and forth between your picks, and Tony, if you want to talk about who you drafted and how it went for you, because you were on top for a good amount of the day. You had a good chunk there where you were just sitting on top, and it was between the top couple guys just going back and forth. And then when it came down to it, of course, those placement points are what really got Aidan and the win there. But you almost came in first, Tony. You came in third with 109 points. So the difference between first and third points was 121 and 109. And then, of course, the difference between first and last place was 121 and 33. But we'll see how that shakes out over the entire league. So
it was funny. The biggest bot in the thing was Undertaker. Like,
yes,
him in the 30s, like. And it was hilarious because I remember sending them down for their first fight. And I'm like, okay, you guys got to win because you're my favorite. And they're like, what? They were all excited that we were rooting on them. They come back up and like, we won. We don't know how, but we won. Oh, and we're going to forfeit. Huh? They had zero desire to fight Chonky. Yeah. And I think, actually, that was probably the best decision of the night because they had their bot fine for the rest of the fights and they kept winning.
Yeah,
they fought Chonky at the end and lost, but hey, rather lose to him in the finals than in one of the qualifying rounds.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was like, I think actually that was probably the best decision they made going through. Honestly, it was just my 12-pound pick when I picked Grim Reaper. He didn't really make it into the bracket and everything else, so that kind of knocked me down a little bit because I think Aidan, all yours guys got made it in the brackets if I remember right.
I believe so. Yeah.
So that was the big thing.
Those 2 points for the bracket.
I had one in the finals for the 3s and the 30s, who both lost, but and I think that was the big difference. If I had won one of those, I'd have been in first and not third. So it was literally that close in the end results. And it was the placements, like you said, with the top 4 picks getting those extra 3 points and whatnot there.
Yeah.
So, but it was really cool because sometimes and Justin Ryan said, while we're at the desk, we can't really pay attention as much as we want to, but we truly were trying to pay attention to our bots throughout this fight. We were literally trying our best to figure out where we were and everything else while we were going on, which was really cool. And all the people in the pits coming up and it was they were all excited. When they came up, it was oh, yeah, our pick or whatever else. And it was added level of excitement to the pits that I don't remember seeing before. People were cheering on other bots that it wasn't theirs. It was just great.
Yeah.
It was really a lot of fun.
And we were trying to keep everybody in the pits kind of informed of what their picks were doing and how they were doing and everything like that too. And it's such a good day. I really loved what having the Fantasy League really added to this. And it sounds like a lot of other people did too, because we've seen a lot of people on our Discord talking about it. Can I talk about how you get that last place? So first, you really get a big head because you're picking Caldera, one of the greatest 3-pound bots ever created. And then he doesn't make the bracket, and you go, oh, okay. And then Seth showed up on Saturday morning, and I was talking to Seth about Shrapnel Mine, and he tells me, oh, I blew up all my electronics last night, and I don't have the top and bottom pieces of my robot. I only have the versions that I was able to cut myself the other day. My actual nice pieces didn't come in, and I'm okay, all right, come on, you're gonna do it. No. And then I had Gamma Ray in the 12s, and Gamma Ray didn't make it. Gamma Ray was a very good looking bot. I really liked Gamma Ray. I really liked that team, but they just didn't make the bracket in the 12s.
I don't think, actually, I'm pretty sure Gamma Ray didn't earn any points at all, if I remember correctly.
No.
So, yeah, Gamma Ray was 0 across the board. So that really messed you up. It was.
Did you have any in the actual bracket, Ryan?
I did. So the only bot that I had that made it into the bracket was my 30, which was Corey with Synthesis 30.
Yeah.
And it was looking good all day. He gave me a piece of Synthesis 30 that fought. I think it actually fought for Ryan in the past. But he gave me one of the little front wedges because I picked his robot, which I love. It's gonna go in my case and everything. It's behind me right now. But unfortunately, he got into the bracket, and in the first round, he fought Brandon, and Brandon unfortunately won that fight. So there you go. I was feeling good about my picks before the event, but we'll get to it next time.
So the correct response, if you are a builder out there, is you do not want Ryan to pick your bot.
I think Ryan has a secret strategy he's not telling us about, where he alternates tournaments. He'll throw one and then pick all the tournament winners and just alternate. Because
yes. Well, I think from especially listening to how your robots did and how Tony's did, I think the really good thing to pick isn't necessarily that Caldera or the Silent Spring or anything like that. The best thing to pick is something that's either midfield or like a little bit lower than like the main like big names, and pick somebody that you know is going to be consistent wins, consistent, like is going to fight their fights all day long, isn't probably going to get buys during the day.
That's
like,
the thing.
I was
The prelim fights, you want all 3 fights. So you really want them to win, lose by judge's decision, and then win.
Yeah.
That is the most points you can get in the prelims.
so so that's one thing, because we had a discussion about what to do with buys, and we had decided that buys would just be, no points, because of the fact that it balances out picking one of those higher up bots that gets the buys with the higher likelihood of getting the 2 points to get into the bracket anyway. But you got the point for getting into the bracket with Synthesis 30, but then he only got the tap out points for you on 1 fight.
Yeah.
So it didn't really do you much good, because Synthesis 30 only earned you 14 overall points, and that was it. Well, no, he got a TO, a judge's loss, and a bracket, which is where the 14 came from. But yeah, that's, if you want to talk about the dangers of picking a buy, like picking a higher up bot that's going to get a buy, and maybe it'll get you a better result in the end, but if not, then it hurts you even more.
Yeah.
There was 4 bots alone that scored more points than Ryan did total.
Just rubbing it in now. Just rubbing it in, Tony.
Oh, wait, sorry, hold on. Maybe there's more. I only looked at the 3-pounders.
My favorite thing was before the event, Tim from Chubby Unicorn was talking smack, calling me what was it?
Narcissist, team narcissist,
team. I can't think what he was saying. Basically, because I'm Justin's brother, so saying that's why I had the highest pick, and then I just kill it. I just waste the highest pick. Thomas, you picked robots too. You picked for.
I did.
Yes,
you
did.
But you picked for Tony Clifton.
I was gonna say you were the fake Tony Clifton.
I just said words and people were saying things in back. I don't know what I did. You did better than last.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, you got hit in 17th. He got 44 points. He's in 17th place because of the bots. And I mean, the one that you really have to give that to is Unga Bunga, which got the 7th most points out of the Beatles. So that's what really solidified Mark into that 17th place. So you did a good job, Thomas. You just picked some bots that you thought that he would like, which
just channeled my inner Tony Clifton.
Yeah. So you picked Not Sure and Not Sure and Unga Bunga for the Beatles, and then you got Energizer, which I don't think you got.
Energizer. That robot's great.
Yeah, but I don't think Energizer got any points though. I think it was one of the bots.
Great.
7 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Energizer got you
more
7
points
points
than Ryan.
And this is the beauty of a fantasy league, just talking crap about everyone. So we had Gamma Ray and Sidewalk Slammer in the 12s that are in the hobby weights that got 0 points, and then the only one in the 30s that got 0 points was Slamson. So everything else earned points, but Ryan just happened to grab the hobby weight that got 0 points, which sucks. But so Thomas, you picked some bots for Mark. Mark came in 17th, but by just picking some random things.
Mark did really well.
Yeah.
Unga Bunga, for having a silly name, Unga Bunga did damn well.
Yes.
I still think he needs to make his robot more Unga Bunga themed, but it's okay. No, not everybody starts out as a goat of robot theming.
What he really needs
performed pretty well.
He needs to go full caveman dress all the way down and just
absolutely.
It's really interesting looking at the spread,
kill a
though.
mammoth and wrap that around his body.
The
It's
mammoth
really-
specifically that was downstairs that there's parts of.
No. That mammoth is already disabled. You have to kill a living mammoth.
The funniest thing is looking at the overall spread, he is the only beetle weight that I'm looking at in this entire sheet. They literally got one point in every single category. He got a KO, a TO, a forfeit, a judge win, a judge loss, and he got in the bracket. So he just has 1 point across the entire sheet.
That's a big old skill issue.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he did really well. He ended up in the bracket. I think he was like 6th place. Like he got pretty high up in the bracket too, didn't he?
Oh wait, that's a good thing. I thought he only got one. Never mind. I thought you were talking about Ryan still only getting 1 point.
No, Ryan got 30 points, 33 points.
That's too many.
Hey there, bot fans. Are you ready to take your love for the Havoc Rundown to the next level? We've got a ton of ways for you to join the action and support the podcast you love. First, connect with us and fellow robot combat enthusiasts by joining our Discord. It's the perfect place to talk shop, share your favorite bot moments, and stay updated with the latest news and events. Make sure to follow us on Facebook to stay in the loop with episode updates, behind-the-scenes content, and community highlights. It's all happening right there. And if you want to show off your Havoc Rundown pride, check out our merch store on Bonfire. Right now, we've got the official Havoc Rundown logo tee waiting for you. Head to bonfire.com/Havoc-Rundown-T to grab yours today. But wait, there's more. You can also support us directly through our Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/Havoc Rundown. Every contribution helps to keep the sparks flying and bring you more amazing content. And for the ultimate fans, don't miss our Patreon at patreon.com/Havoc Rundown. As a patron, you'll get exclusive access to bonus content like our Fantasy League drafts, D&D games, special interviews, and other exciting surprises. So what are you waiting for? Join the community, show your support, and keep the gears turning at the Havoc Rundown. We'll see you in the arena. Well, that's compared to 121 in first place, so you know.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
still too many.
I thought we were playing golf. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, nobody ever said golf. I don't think anybody
Ryan,
in Common Robotics plays golf.
Get the first pick in
Yeah.
the next draft.
Yep.
But you
So-
know
Yep.
who you're picking yet.
None of
Oh
it
man,
matters.
You
Just
just
pick
pick.
something
You tell
different.
everybody who you're picking. It doesn't matter. Nobody can pick them.
True.
this is very true. Do we have the official list yet for March?
I don't know if it's an official list for March, but I know there is a list that is out there floating around. I think that Gil shared, but we don't know as far as like the backups and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know if the official one is out. At least not that I've seen that I was able to throw into the March drafting sheet. But we do know the Motorama drafting sheet, which is technically the next event in quotations that we're doing. But so before we move away from February, I just wanted to ask, I guess everyone here, because Thomas, you drafted as well, and Mark is probably going to ask you for at least like 1 or 2 picks. Moving
no.
forward,
I'm
'cause-
going to pick See, I can't say I'm going to pick the worst spots because then when I pick them, then it'll be like, wow, you think I have the worst spot? I'm like, yeah, Jake. No, I love Bebo. I'm just going to pick them at random.
So what strategies is everyone thinking about from March? That was the question before we move forward. What did you learn from February, and what are you going to apply moving forward?
I'm going to use my first pick. I'm going to call it now. I think my first pick is Knuckle Sandwich.
Okay, that's solid.
I think that's my first pick. I'm almost tempted to pick Basics, just because of how well basics did in March already. But I think I'm going to go with Peter Gamache. And then I think for my second pick, I'm going to go for Hodor and hope that maybe it'll be my first pick, but I'm hoping that Hodor does well as control bot, and a control bot's going to get me extra points because it's all JD wins.
Right.
So I think that's my strategy for Beatles in March.
Well, the funny thing about especially a control bot that goes the distance is whether it wins or loses, you get points. So that's another thing to think about with strategy is choosing a bot that is resistant, that's not going to get KO'd or TO'd, no matter who they go against. Something like the duck strategy is just picking something that no matter how much time it gets hit, it's just going to keep on living, is good because JD losses are not 0 points. It's at least something.
And you definitely want to pick something that's going to be fighting a lot, like that's going to be there as many rounds in as possible.
As many you kind of want to go with the strategy of picking something that is going to fight as many times as possible, but you are confident is going to win most, if not all, of the fights that it does fight in. So it's an interesting strategy of maybe not choosing a buy bot, but choosing something that you know is going to win every fight that it goes into. Because Knuckle Sandwich is the reigning champ. Yes. So you know that's going to get a buy in March. You know you're going to run into the same issue of getting those 0 points for at least the first fight. So, but you also have...
Do you think I should put my faith in Glenn for his 12th? Should I just always pick Glenn's bot and go with Caldera 12 at this point?
You're just Team March? Caldera. I mean, that's up to you, dude. I don't know. It's an interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pans out for you.
I was just thinking Knuckle Sandwich won't have Ramp Buddy anymore. So is that
also
risk?
True.
There's an X factor now.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't see at all in February? Any items. There was no items in the boxes at all. Nobody took advantage of that rule.
I think also saw nobody coming up to us and telling us that, oh, I'm fighting in this fight, and I can't fight now. It was great.
Well, I think the item thing has to do with the fact that Ricky kind of squashed that. He kind of came in and said, I see all these plans you guys are making in the Discord, just so you know, none of those things are what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, So, Aidan, do you have any changes to your strategy, or are you just going to continue on as you...
Well, I feel like since I won, I can say whatever strategy and it'll sound smart, whether or not it was luck. I think so when I made my picks, I was careful to not write down the ranks for robots, because I feel like that would make me biased and really look at the ones with the high number. I think something else I'm trying to keep in mind is I feel like some builders show up to tournaments to win and other builders show up to experiment with robots. And that makes me hesitant to pick a builder like Corey, because I feel like one time he'll show up with a completely different robot, like he'll change everything in it. So we'll go from beating 2 world champs at the same time one tournament to not making the bracket the next tournament.
Right.
So a builder like that feels like a bit of a risk. So I picked 2 robots where I felt like I could vibe check them and I'd feel like, okay, I know these robots want to win. They're probably going in with reliable bots. So that's what I'm telling myself worked. And I think I'm going to try the same thing again. Something else that I think is interesting, that's unique with the 30-pound picks, is you get a lot of points for winning the bracket. And with the 30-pounders, you can kind of know who's going to win beforehand. Not 100%, but a lot more than the 3-pounders or the 12-pounders. Like if Chonky's showing up or Emulsifier's showing up and you don't have another S-tier robot or like Megatron showing up, you could say with maybe 50% certainty that they're going to win, but I feel like you can't do that for the other brackets.
Yeah, right now Emulsifier is coming in the 30s, and there's only 8 30s right now registered.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right, so that's going to be an interesting, and we've covered this before, of the way that it's done. I might have to tweak the formula if there's not enough 30s to go around. Is the pick limits for higher seeds get less picks and lower seeds get more picks. We might have to maybe allow 2 people to pick emulsifier again, depending, because 8 is kind of low.
I really want that because I'm the second 30-pound pick.
Yeah, there might be a few more showing up. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to throw it into the RNG machine and see what spits out as far as what makes sense. But we'll see what the numbers come out as. But basically, we want to make it so that every single player and slash team has at least 112 and 130. So whatever the numbers need to work out to do that and be fair about that, then we'll do that. So,
and as we saw, an unranked bot made the finals in the 30s last time.
Yep.
So
Very
Undertaker took
much
him by 4 people last time, and they made the finals. So.
Yeah, I mean, and just look at, I don't think it was finals. Which event was it last year where Colossal Avian was taking on Emulsifier? And Colossal Avian at the beginning of the day was like, oh yeah, cool, that's an overhead attacker. And then it just ended up as like taking on Emulsifier and doing pretty well against it until it kind of like messed up and got thrown into the corner. But, you know.
I think that was teams, right?
Was that teams?
I think so.
Well, still, it's you know what I mean. It's a bot that at the beginning everyone's like, oh, okay, what is that bot? What is this? And then it ends up, doing extremely well. So you never know. Maybe the strategy is picking the unknown bot and just hoping, or taking your chance on that high seeded bide robot. So we'll see.
If you do pick a low bot and it does well, you look like a genius, and that feels great. Yes.
Yeah, so that's the February event. That went really well. March we're looking forward to, but before March comes around, we are going to be Aidan, I don't know if you're going to be at Motorama. I know Tony, you're not going to be, but
Nope.
Ryan, myself, and Thomas will all be at Motorama. Right, Thomas, you're going?
I will be there.
Yeah, you'll be there. Yeah, we were talking about having the camera. Of course you're going to be there. But Motorama is not currently for this experimental first year of the league. We're just doing NHRL. We decided that it would be cool to do a mini league for Motorama and just kind of see how that goes. If it goes really well, we might do some other leagues for some other, smaller events during the year, using kind of the same rules or edited and tweaked depending on how it goes. But Motorama is in the same kind of weight classes. They have ants and plants that we're not going to be getting into, and they also have what is it called? Why am I blanking on the 12-pound sportsman? They also have sportsmans, which we're not going to get into it either. So we're just doing the beetle weights, the hobbies, and the feathers, just like we do for NHRL. So we are going to be doing I'm going to try a live draft. We're going to try a live draft Friday night, drafting the beetles, the hobbies, and the feathers, and then we'll see how those go. But so far, there's a good amount. There's actually more hobbies and more feathers coming to Motorama than there were at February, which is interesting because I had to expand those columns in my formula.
Well, as far as I've heard, the Motorama attracts a lot of people that don't come to NHRL anyway.
Yep.
So there's a lot of bots that we would never see at NHRL ever and kind of just show up to go to Motorama every year, and that's it. So
Yeah.
I'm really interested to meet all the people down there. I know that there's representation from like Team Gruff and Team Witch Doctor that's going to be there that we've never met before.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to meet that whole Pennsylvania contingent and everything. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like it's going to be really fun. It sounds like it's going to be way more relaxed than NHRLs usually are. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, unlike NHRL, which is just a Robot Comet event, Motorama is a Robot Comet event inside of a much larger event that does not, I don't want to say doesn't care, but like there's so much other stuff that's going to be going on that the Robot
Amish
Comet
Hot
just kind of like, oh
Pockets.
yeah, that's going on too. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. So there's There's quite a few NHRL, I want to call them alums that are going though. Like just looking at the Beatles alone, Tim is bringing Chubby Unicorn. Drummer Child from Nate is going. We have Hodor from Ariel. Jelly Baby, Camino. There's a bunch of names up here. Marge is Emily, who is in our fantasy league, and she's on our Discord. She's bringing Marge, which is going to be interesting. We saw Melon Baller in February. That's also going to be there. And then we have OnlyFans. Ryan, do you want to tell everyone who is bringing OnlyFans?
Joe Fabiani is bringing OnlyFans. If this robot does not have just some weird giant fan either in the center of the robot or just like it's being pushed around by a giant fan, I'm going to be extremely just disappointed in Joe. I'm looking forward to it.
Or it's just a giant fan with RC wheels.
Yeah. Just a box fan, just like one of the box fans that you...
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, but I mean, we have like Voxel. There's a bunch of ones up here that I'm... Puka, Prince. I've never seen Samurai before, but I think they dropped out. But I've heard of Samurai is a pretty notorious spot. Aidan, your Pine Victus will be there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Someone should pick it.
Yeah, and then of course Prom 3da. So Ashley and Zach will be there with Prom 3da. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see how running a mini league is going to go. And maybe we'll be able to do it for other events like a Boxel event and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, and best mention of all, Mr. Roper is going to be there. And we will possibly be on Mr. Roper's pit team and maybe even I don't know, drive one part of Mr. Roper, half of Mr. Roper. I don't know. Mark was talking about, you know, some crazy things as he is likened to do, so it's going to be interesting. But so that's Motorama, that's February. We're looking forward to all of that and looking forward to March.
I'm looking forward to seeing Pepe Silvia.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Pepe Silvia should be there. I'm pretty sure he won last year, right, Thomas?
I forget.
I'm
There
pretty
are a
sure
lot of robots.
I'm pretty sure he won Moto last year.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I don't know where they have the information. Might be on RC.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. We're also going to do a wrap up from Motorama and have some content from Motorama. So before we go, we did a listener mailbag for this. We asked our league members their thoughts and how they thought February went.
Oh, I found the Miss Motorama pageant results.
What?
Miss Motorama from 2024. So overall, Queen Missy won. First runner-up was Morrow, followed by Megan, Becky, and then Christiana.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for that information, Thomas.
You now know. On
There's
our
also different categories such as
podcast.
swimwear, sportswear, interview, crowd vote bikini, sportswear crowd vote, RC races, philanthropy award, People's Choice, and True to Self award. Whatever that means.
Is that where
there's
you're
a
going
bunch
to
more
spend?
too.
Is that where you're going to spend most of your time, Thomas, this weekend?
Oh, I'm entering it. I'm gonna win.
You got my vote, Thomas. You got my vote.
Please leave a message after the beep.
The first one, Bob, and I always forget his last name because he is on our Discord server as Bob, no last name. But Bob said the first event with the league was fantastic. It was great to have a stake in the event beyond just watching as a fan. Probably the only thing that would have made it better was watching with others in person, adding some trash talk. The event was a real roller coaster for him, which did him dirty. He spent a lot of time going back a couple of years and putting together stats for bots to try and make some better informed decisions. I saw the stats. He had big Excel documents full of like stats for bots for 3 years ago versus like this year and trends and stuff like that. He said he was too dependent on the stats. The next time he's going to spend a bit more time going by vibes instead. His method was very, very broken.
I agree with vibes.
Yeah.
No
Did
way,
anybody
that would
else
never
have... Aidan, you were talking about the fact that you had some stats, kind of, that you were looking at some trends and stuff, right?
The extent of me looking at stats was just scrolling through the wiki, especially for bots that I didn't know the name of, and I was looking at win-loss rates, how they changed over time. but I really just sorted robots into buckets, and within that bucket, I just went off of vibes. So I had like I had my S tier bucket, my A tier bucket, my B tier bucket.
Okay. Very cool. Ryan, I know you just kind of had your top picks going in.
Yep.
And finally, Tony, did you have anything? You didn't have any?
Nope, I didn't have any stats or anything else going in. I'm like, it's the first time. Let's just have fun.
Hey,
yes.
Paid off for you.
Have fun equals third place.
I do agree with Bob on the
full pound or full combat.
The raised stakes. This was the highest my heart rate's ever gotten during an NHRL event. Like it felt like that the Eruption versus Twin Beast fight that happened a couple years ago. That was the craziest fight I'd ever seen, most intense. It felt like I was watching that fight over and over again every time one of my robots was up. It was just so stressful, but it was awesome.
That's awesome to hear. So Tim Hebert, right? I'm saying that right? Chubby Unicorn's amazing builder and driver. He said, I similarly did a whole bunch of math and tried to pick based on statistics for the most part, and while my points don't show it, I'm still very happy with the bots I picked. He agreed with Bob that it added something to the event. He finally understood the stereotypes of a dad being desperate to watch sports ball even when it's an inappropriate environment. He said he went to his neighbor's middle school play and was checking out scores during the intermission and checking out the bracket and stuff any chance he got. That's awesome. The smack talk is always fun. Having another reason to cheer for a bot is a nice bonus. 1010 Wood Fantasy Robot again, which is amazing. And then Miles Sim said it was fun getting to have more of a personal stake in other fights going on. He's really looking forward to getting to do this through the rest of the year. So Miles was competing with Cold Snap, which is his undercutter, which everyone is very afraid of, and he did very well with Cold Snap because I believe he picked Cold Snap, right? Am I thinking of that wrong? Yeah, he picked Cold Snap, which picking your own robots seems to be a mixed bag, but seems to go in the positive for the most part, because Shree also picked Chunky and the Orcas, and Chunky did him very well, of course. So choosing your own bots has got to give you more of a incentive to do better with those bots, which obviously. So that's a cool little thing of being a builder and being in league and choosing your bot. And, oh, I have to win this. Oh, no, I really have to. So, and finally, Mark Renee, the amazing driver and builder behind Mr. Roper, said, Unga Bunga unwittingly stole the name for a bot I've been planning for months. They also got my team the most points of any bot on my roster. It's a mixed bag. I blame Thomas for the innovative vibe pick strategy. He's also a mixed bag, mostly cashews though, which has got to be one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard about another person.
I'm allergic to cashews.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that, Thomas?
You know, I think everything he said was 100% accurate.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I agree with his vibe-based analysis.
So that is all I had. Does anybody else want to talk about anything else? Like I said, this is a shorter episode, just wrapping up February. We're going to be talking, Aidan, we will have you back on to talk more about your bots and your builder journey. But this was more of a shorter one just to talk about February and Motorama. And then we'll have a bigger wrap up once March is done. Anybody want to add any other notes before we wrap up for tonight?
I just thought it was funny. I was looking at Tim's story about watching in an inappropriate environment. I had a similar experience. I was at a sports bar with two of my friends, and they were watching the Marquette game on National Marquette Day, a basketball game. And it was a heartbreaking loss for them, and so they're all sad, but I'm freaking out because I'm going back and forth for first place in the league. So I did not have the emotional energy to match them, but it was great.
I follow baseball, so like when baseball season starts, I feel like that about baseball. But I mean, baseball and robot combat are my two sports. So I totally understand as a league steward, I didn't have as much stake in which robots did very well. But as this being my child, like at least one of my brainchild, I did have a stake in everyone having fun and this going well as a group, if that makes sense. So I'm very happy with how February went and the vibes and how everyone's feeling about it. So yeah, very cool. So that's a wrap for this episode of HavoC Rundown. We've covered the February fantasy results, heard from our first ever event winner, Aidan, and looked ahead to Motorama this weekend. If you're participating in the Motorama Mini League, get ready. It's going to be fast and furious draft, and we'll be breaking down the results next time we have an episode. Make sure to follow us on social media and stay updated on all things combat robotics and fantasy league action. You can find us on Facebook using just searching for HavoC Rundown, or we are actually on Blue Sky now, HavoC at havocrundown.bsky.social. So find us there and give us a follow. And of course, Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts, you can find these episodes. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to share it with your fellow bot fans, whether it's on social media, in your Discord groups, or just with a friend who loves combat robotics. Spreading the word helps us grow. Until next time, keep the bot spinning and draft picks winning. Say goodbye to all of our listeners, everyone.
Farewell, listeners.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.